Welcome to My Grandpa's Train. Today's video is going to be a continuation of last week, where I am comparing two locomotives, one vintage and one relatively modern. The locomotive on our left is a Gilbert 060, and the locomotive on the right is a Bachmann 060, both of which are lettered for the Pennsylvania Railroad. However, there is a lot of major differences between these locomotives. Now, while at one time the Bachmann locomotive had a working smoke unit, it no longer functions and has been removed. However, the Gilbert locomotive, which is older than the Bachmann locomotive, still has a functioning smoke unit, and it works great. The heavy-duty weight of the Gilbert locomotive means it can pull about 30 cars with relative ease before it struggles, and if it were set on a layout with much wider curves and smooth rolling freight cars, which mine have the standard old plastic wheels, this locomotive could probably pull about 60 cars. In contrast, the plastic Bachmann locomotive could pull maybe 10 to 15 cars when it was new. Now, the Bachmanns are notorious for having split gears, and this one actually has had a 3D printed replacement created for it, and when it was new, we ran the wheels off of it, and it pulled pretty good sized trains with relative ease, but unfortunately, because it is completely worn out, it doesn't really do that well anymore. Starting with the Bachmann pulling the set of passenger cars that we got way back for Christmas many years ago. One other thing I wanted to mention is that I have a wall of boxes for decoration on this portion of the layout. Behind that is a whole bunch of stuff and things that could be distracting to the viewer. And so I decided to put these boxes up as a temporary wall, so you can't see that anymore. This whole area is going to become sort of a mountain when I someday get around to building my elevated line on this layout. But until then, this will make a nice backdrop.